Hello, I'm the official name rater. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today we're starting off the legendary They're Cats, look it up, the legendary cat trio, firstly Raikou, who is based off of a saber-toothed tiger. This should have been more obvious than anything, but some people out there think they're dogs. I'm guilty, I used to think that when I was a kid too, and then I looked it up. So the first thing that comes up is a poll. So naming your Pokemon after an attack is not good, and just not interesting as a name in general. Bolt is also boring. Rai, this is something I kind of expect to see because I'm pretty sure it's just some Japanese dealy god shit or whatever. I think it's just something Japanese. Raiden, that's the thunder god and all that, so I assume it's related in some way. Don't particularly care for it, but I'm just expecting to see it a bunch. And then this, which if you scroll down here, is basically just Mizu. So it's bad, objectively. None of the above, especially not Rai. This fucking guy. I don't think there's an Ice Cat Pokemon, but if the day ever comes, I want you to write this name down, and you can save Cool Cat for when they eventually make another form variation of Meowth, and then it can be an Ice type, and you can name it Cool Cat. Tesla, that's literally the most generic name of all Pokemon next to Gods. It's actually been a while since we've seen it, thinking about it. Johto has had much less of the bingo card crap that Kanto did. That's kind of funny. Raiden, Mortal Kombat. I said I didn't like Rai, but if you want to do Raiden, that's fine. Personally, I think Electros is a better thing, but that's because Raiden's animality is where he turns into an electric eel. So for that reason, I just think that makes more sense. But I can completely understand how someone would not think that or draw that parallel because it was in one fucking game and that's it. And also because Legendary plus God, so it kind of works a little bit well with Raikou there, and I guess if you wanted to, Zapdos as well. I didn't like Jungle Book, and I have deliberately not watched Jungle Book in a very long time, so if this is true, here's another suggestion for you. I thought it was some sort of weird thing off of Shao Kahn because of how similar the words were, but yeah, there you go, Jungle Book. So, top and bottom here, both basically talk about the same thing. I think we've mentioned it before. If you can find a attack, spell, or whatever that you think would work and doesn't sound ridiculous, that's also a fair option for nicknames. It's just that's kind of probably incredibly limited, but if you can pull it off and you think it works, go for it. So I don't hate this idea, but I'm trying to think that there's probably, I know, maybe any of the starters, because that would be at least red, blue, and green. I don't hate that idea. That's stupid, but I don't hate it. Like, it made me laugh. I'm fine with it. If you want to go the Powerpuff Girl route, sure. But I personally think it's gonna fit much better on the starters, or if you want to, the monkeys from Black and White, where it's like Grass Monkey, that, you know, those things. Because then you don't have to do the starters, and they're all themed the same too. See, Thundercat was basically the only thing I came in here expecting, because I was like, it's literally a Thundercat. Thundercats was a show. It makes perfect sense. So I was expecting to see this like 1,000 times, but it's taken this long for me to just see it once. But I don't really care for it as a nickname, but it's basically what I expect everyone else to think of. Now, in all fairness, this happens to me a lot where I forget. I didn't even think about the idea of just naming it Rai being literally half of its name. So if you wanted to do the Pokemon Stadium style where you just manipulate their name and let's say use half of it, which would really be kind of weird because Entei would either just be Ent or Te, and that'd be kind of weird. But if you wanted to, for God knows what reason, I don't think it works on these guys, but it's a viable option if you want to theme it that way. So Thunders is dumb. Volt Runner is dumb. Saberthor is dumb. Boltus, Electra, Voltthor, Wild Shock, they're all dumb. The thing I want to highlight is the idea that Wild Shock does not work nearly as well as Wildfire, because Wildfires exist. Wild Shocks don't. You don't ever listen to the news and hear about a Wild Shock. so it doesn't work. ACDC, we've seen this in the past. I recommended it for Electivire, Electabuzz. It does follow the lightning pattern on its body, so if you wanted to, you could use that there, and it's totally fine. Anyway, so we've reached the bottom. Nothing has jumped out or tickled me to an extreme to the point where I really have any personal recommendations, but we'll check the spreadsheet and see if maybe something else does. The answer is no. So we had stuff to talk about, and that's fine. Me, I personally don't nickname legendaries, so I don't have a recommendation for you or one that I use that I can say, yeah, I really like this. But I mean, we found stuff that I think is acceptable, like ACDC was fine, Raiden's fine, and that's all I can remember because I didn't bother writing anything down. So, I'll Thundercats. I'll admit that. Yeah, if anything out there interested you, it's all yours. I mean, I lay no claims to any of these. The videos are there, so you can use whatever you want. And then, you can also provide your own suggestions and ideas in the comments below to help out other people with any potential nickname ideas, along with just sharing your own fun experiences. And give a thumbs up to any of the comments that you think are good and that you like. And Thundercats.